know some bitches who sell tracks. When I get up off them drugs, I don't really know how to act. Bitch, I feel like I'm a pimp. I'm a Don, I'm a young Mac. I might snatch a young bitch heart. I might never ever give it back. I might sell a nigga brick of tracks before I ever tell him that I rap. Security pat me down, I still snug my Glock in this bitch. Old lame man, nigga left his Glock in it whip. I'm searching for the syrup, man, I need some walk for me to sip. Serving rock in it bit, make it lock with it wrist. Make it lock with it wrist, serving rock like I'm Chris. Made a twat, he a bitch, he a op. Fuck his bitch, on the block with them sticks. Pop your top, like John Wick, let her watch. Why she so thick? She a nasty, nasty bitch. And we smoking crumble with exotic. And I don't wanna fuck like she a busy body. And every time I'm around the hoe, I get her riding. That little pussy be so wet, she always soak up my bed. We keep them choppers on choppers, money and power. Hit that boy with the hit, they made him holler. 20 band bustin' up my band, got your bitch wanna fuck a young nigga, but she can't get a dollar. I ain't no regular nigga, might pull up and serve you some bricks of the Chevy Impala. This ain't no regular gas, she smoking on hit it one time, make it hard for the swallow. Throw my back with it, I mix it with crumble. Came up from nothing, so fuck being humble. Run his ass down, but not trip, but not stumble. Hand me the stick, I'ma do all the honors. I know they can't last a day in the jungle. Shots from the K to the face, put them under. Spin on your block, then we skate in the tundra. Real brick nigga like to play with the bundles. Security pat me down, I still snug my Glock in this bitch. Old lame man, nigga left his Glock in it whip. I'm searching for the syrup, man, I need some walk for me to sip. Serving rock in it bit, make it lock with it wrist. Make it lock with it wrist, serving rock like I'm Chris. Made a twat, he a bitch, he a op. Fuck his bitch, on the block with them sticks. Pop your top, like John Wick, let her watch. Why she so thick? She a nasty, nasty bitch. And we smoking crumble with exotic. And I don't wanna fuck like she a busy body. Smoking crumble with exotic.
What we about to do this time, we about to go live on TikTok and YouTube at the same damn time. I got TikTok, I got YouTube at the same damn time. And we finna get it on, man. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I'm coming to you live tonight to talk about a particular situation that took place that helped mold me into the man I am today. You did. I want to tell you about a particular situation that took place that helped mold me into the man that I am today. King Shoe, what it is, man. I'm just in here casting and lasting, man. About to tell these boys about an episode in the situation that I went through. You know what I'm saying? And I got TikTok and YouTube at the same time. Let's get it on. Well, the way this story takes place, let me hit my little freshly squeezed juice. This is a carrot and orange juice. Boy, that Temu juicer hitting like chicken. But yeah, man, this is how the story takes place. I had a detail shop, you did, off in Port, Texas, on Guffway Drive, about in a 4100 block. Can you dig it? And so one day I was at my detail shop and I was approached by a gentleman. He said he heard a lot about me and he wanted me to come check out his detail shop. He had a spot in the white folk neighborhood. Really nice, but it was kind of run down because they hadn't been keeping it up. He had a bunch of dope fiends over there working, so the work was not quality. So here they are with this big, nice establishment, but they delivering poor quality work. So people are coming to check them out because of where they're located, because they're so conveniently located. But once the people go and see the quality of work that they do, they no longer return. So the older gentleman who came contacting me, I knew him from when I was a little kid. I knew exactly who he was. He just didn't remember who I was, which he knew me when I was a kid. But we're not gonna get off into that. But what we will get off into, he made me an offer that I should have refused. This was a very, very wealthy black man in my town. Can you dig it? So he tells me, how about you hire a couple people to help your partner run your detail shop, still collect your money over here, but then come to my detail shop and run it and get it off the ground. I say, why would I do that? He say, man, you're going to be able to make money in both places. Here's what I'm going to pay you to do that. I say, I'll come and take a look at it. And then we can talk about, you know what I'm saying, pay and everything else. He say, cool. When can you show up? I pick my slow day. I hired one man to go help my people, and I picked my slow days. So instead of me going open up my detail shop at that time, I bypassed my detail shop and drove all the way to the white folk neighborhood to go help him open up his. Now, when I got there, he had an old school dope fiend running the show. You know what I mean? And he was one of the most professional dope fiends I knew. He sectioned off his smoke breaks. You know, yeah, such and such, I take me a smoke break. And he step off to the side and fire a cigarette and enjoy it like it was the best thing going. You did? But then after that, he come back and he go to cracking the whip on the people they had working for him. But he really was going downhill from the jump because he had buckets of dirty water. He had buckets of dirty towels. How are you going to get something clean with dirty towels and dirty water? It just don't make sense. You see what I'm saying? So I fell in place to watch. The dope fiend thought I was there to work. And he tried to crack that whip on my back a few times. You did? But I really was there to watch. So as I looked at the establishment, I looked around, I looked at the possible clientele, I looked at all the possibilities that was around there that they wasn't taking advantage of. And I said, this is a gold mine. This is a gold mine. So I talked to the gentleman about what he was going to pay me. You did? So he told me, how about you come over here a few times a week, this many hours a week, and I'll pay you this much a week, allowing me to be at my spot, his spot, and my mobile detail service, and my lawn service, and everything else I did. Because when I was short people, I'd pull up to a place that we had called Labor Ready. It's kind of like those places you see in the city these days where there's a bunch of foreigners waiting around for somebody to pull up and say they got work, rather it be construction, painting, landscaping, whatever it may be. Labor Ready was one of those places. They would go out for work, but the people who got left behind who didn't get a work ticket would still be hanging around waiting on something to come through. It's not a cool thing. You know what I mean? But you do what you got to do when you're trying to get where you're trying to go. So I would go just roustabout, pick people up and go make it happen. That's how I was able to do so much. So I say, you know what? The offer you made, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to check you out. Let's do it. So I told my kinfolk, who was my partner, hey, man, this is what I'm about to do. This is the situation. You did? He like, man, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and see what's up. So the morning I told him I would start, I showed up to his establishment. Now, he hadn't explained to the dope fiend yet who I was and what I was about to do. So the dope fiend took it that I was just one of the workers. I don't know why he thought that, because I pulled up in a big brand new truck like Boss Man did. You did? I pulled up in a big brand new Ford like Boss Man was driving. And a few times I had to pick him up. And he stank. You know what I mean? The boy stank. But yeah, say, man, I picked him up and brought him to work. But while we had the shop, he telling me what to do and I'm listening. I'm just checking him out. Because what's about to happen is I'm really about to fire. I'm really about to fire once I get seated in my position. But I'm there to learn right now and see what's really happening. You did? So make a long story short, I worked for about a week and a half. And it came time for the gentleman I made the agreement with to give me my paper. Man, don't you know, I had to almost harass him for the money he said he was gonna give me. Like, he supposed to pay me on a Friday. I didn't get my money until Monday. And then it was almost like pulling teeth for me to get what we agreed upon. He trying to tell me how slow the situation was. I say, man, look, I could stay at my spot and do all I got going. You summons for me to come over here. It's either you gonna honor what we talking about, or hey, I appreciate the opportunity, but it ain't for me. He like, I get it. And I knew to play straight up with him. Regardless, I knew to just play straight down the pipeline. So he broke me off. So the next week, it really was rocky. He wanted me to go ahead and tell the dope fiend dude who I was and what was going on about this time and what was about to happen. So I wound up calling all my contract delivery people who bought me my products. It was a company out of Orange, Texas. They delivered, they pulled through. And when they popped the doors, you know what I'm saying, on the, what was it, a step van or a box truck, they had all the supplies you need. And I used to love this. It was like an Armor All. It was called Blue Luster, baby. Blue Luster. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing but tie shine, but when they make it come out blue and it smell good. If you put a sponge and clean your interior first and then come back with a slightly low smidget of it, it's gonna give you a call, you know what I'm talking about, a heck of a shine, and it's gonna smell good. But that's besides the point. So I break it to the dope fiend, say, I'm really your secret boss. He wanna fight. You know what I mean? He wanna fight. And when I tell you, I probably could have plucked him and you know what I'm saying, shooed him away. I could have plucked him and made him catch a cartwheel. But I let him be aggressive and talk his talk. But then I told him how it was gonna go down. So I put it down that whole week. I'm talking about walking around there in my rubber booth, rearranging things for the 3-4 days that I'm over there. I'm talking about got the revenue up. Got the revenue up. Got the line long. Got the products lined up. Clean towels, clean buckets of water, clean chamois. I'm talking about it's going down in the South. So the next week come. Guess what happened? I got to run down my money again. I said, okay. Now the first week was kind of slow. I wasn't in position. The second week, I showed him the potential of what's gonna go down. And it was gonna get way more incredible than that, because I hadn't even pulled out all my stops and whistles and gadgets and whatnot. See, I had this thing I do. I'd survey the area and I look at all the businesses, all the big buildings. I drive through the parking lot. I look at all the cars. Then I go in the building with a flyer and a business card. Hey, we're a new business open right here. Boom, boom, boom. If you ever need us, give us a shout. We'll come pick up the car, whatever. We'll deliver it back. You know what I mean? Here's our packages. Here's our packages. I had a whole menu of packages of what I delivered. You did? And I'm talking about impeccable put down on some detail. I had the little brushes. I get all in the crevices. You see, I'm really detailed. I'm a person you can trust with your personal belongings. I'm going to take care of it like it's mine. You see? So when I was getting on them cars, man, I wanted excellence. When you got back in your car, I wanted you to feel that triple gold experience. Because guess what? If you like it and love it, you're going to want some more of it. You're going to want to come back. So I put my foot down. But the next week come, I got to chase this man for my money again. I say, you know what? The money good, but he's adding too much stress to an already filled platter that I have. Because at this time, I'm working multiple entities. I'm being everywhere and damn near nowhere at the same time by picking up people and creating mini me's. I'm picking up people, coaching them and teaching them on how and what and boom, 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 and leaving them in place so I can go do other things. And then some of the best ones, I'll take them with me because we had a contract on Thursday where we dealt with Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge, and we washed over 300 cars in one day. It was called a California wash. YouTube, is y'all hearing this? TikTok, is y'all hearing this? Let me see if y'all hearing this. I got to put them bifocals on. Boy, I got my contacts out. I got to put them bifocals on. You see what I'm saying? Hey, look at my eyes. They big, man. They look like fishes off in there, man. YouTube, is y'all hearing this? Is y'all catching this? TikTok, is y'all catching this? Yeah, so that's how it was going down, man. But make a long story short, the homie screwed me on my money again. So I said, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to come over here and get your establishment fired up, and you still going to drag your feet on paying me, man? Is you crazy? You know what I mean? All that I got going on, this not, boy, you crazy. So I said, look, I had a few more days. I was probably like going on 3 weeks in, and he owed me a little bit more money. I think around like 500 or something. You know what I mean? We had agreed on an extra 1,000 a week or whatever. And so, and this was back in the day. This is way back in the early 2000s. So he owed me like 500 or something. I think I had 3 days put in for that week. But I explained to him, nah, man, this ain't gonna work. The way you rocking, you're not where you need to be when I need you to be there. You're not dropping certain things because this is your establishment. This is not mine. I'm only here to, get this thing cracking for you. You know what I mean? Contracting though. Not like no employee of his. I'm contracting. So he was like, man, you shouldn't do that, man. You need to stick around, man. It's gonna get better. I'm like, no. You know what I mean? So we kind of got into it. He barely wanted to pay me. I had to kind of talk to him, greasy and whatnot. And so he went on broke bread, and I went on about my business. Now, come to find out, he was stressed out because he had just acquired this new business. He didn't want to be in that business. He wanted to be able to buy that business, get somebody who knew the business model, place them in there, and then turn it into a cash cow and keep it moving. But whoever he bought the business from, he reneged on their agreement. So the business owner came from behind the curtains. Now, the guy who was purchasing the spot from the other guy, they were both millionaires. These wasn't no little small fish. These were multi-property owning people. These were multiple business owning people. These people were like, they own, you know what I'm saying, a huge piece of our city. But the guy who he was buying it from, he came from behind the curtain. He got my information from somebody. He showed up at my detail shop. Once I'm back at my detail shop, like I'm done with it, he showed back up. And he was this tall white guy, blue eyes, you know what I mean? Looked like he used to be a wrestler when he was younger. So the way me and the other gentleman situation ended, we cursed each other out a bit. We almost came to blows. But I respected my elder, understood, hey, this just ain't for me. And I walked off. The bottom line was, this was a black man. And he was already wealthy. When I tell you wealthy, I mean, he owned multiple properties, heavy equipment. He owned so much that what I learned from him, I'll tell you at the end, but it tripped me out what I learned. But he and I broke off our business ties because the way he was conducting business, and we cursed each other out. I got my little money from him and I went on about my business. But somehow he reneged on the contract of that property. And so that owner, he sorted me out. He came and found me. We had a conversation. He told me, I want you to come aboard the way you was with him. but I want you to take full responsibility. I'm like, dog, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I said, I can come, stay for a while, be there for a few days, train you up somebody else, and then y'all can do what y'all do. But you need to pay me what he said he was going to pay me every week. He like, well, we can do that. He said, can you take on more responsibility? I'm like, what do you mean? Do you have the manpower if I gave you a slice of this? He told me about some lawns, because I also had a lawn service. I said, yeah, I can take a look at them and give you a quote. He said, well, here's what the other guys are charging me to cut them. You can go take a look at them and then let me know what you can do. Now, the other guys, they was on some bull because they were barely charging him to, you know what I'm saying, cut some nice pieces of property. And I'm talking about small apartment complexes, pawn shops. I'm just all types of stuff. So I went and gave him a quote on all of them. Some of my pricing was kind of near the other guys. Some of my pricings were way further. And I told him, you know, what I was going to do, you know what I'm saying, what I brought to the table. So he said, cool, if you can handle all this, let's go. I went and hired more people, put them at my shop, went to his shop, hired people over there, and we got it back cracking. Guess what? He was cool. He paid me what he said he was going to pay me. But it was something about him that was disturbing. He had a little racism in him, but he tried to hide it. I would see him deal with different people, and he just would treat them like they were despicable. But it was always either somebody black or somebody Mexican. And so one day I asked him, I'm like, dog, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? He prejudiced, man. He like, nah, I'm shit, nah. I'm like, okay, cool. So as everything going smooth, I'm talking about like clockwork. I got all these people from Labor Ready and almost got them fully employed, man. We're going to do this. And I know you finna say, this nigga lying, but check this out. During that time, I also was on call with the city of Port Arthur. I had a contract while I was on call, while I pressure washed the garbage trucks and all the big heavy equipment at the same damn time. Can you dig it, man? So what you looking at, man, ain't no spring chicken, man. You looking at a certified, you bona fide, but look, check it out, because I want to finish the story. Everything going smooth. So he tells me and the wife having a party. I want you to come to the crib, and I want you to really get the yard looking impeccable. Now, I never cut the house yard. I never cut his personal yard at his house. You did? I cut all his other properties, all his businesses. But he wanted me to come take care of the crib because they was having a pool party. When I got there, I'm like, man, it was so detailed. It was like really shit everywhere. But it was a very nice house around some very nice houses. But the wife had all kind of figurines and stuff. It was just too much going on, and you had to be very detailed and fine with the weed and all that. It really was a headache. So after I did the front and everything, I came back and I did the back. So while I'm doing the back, I'm looking at the pool. I'm looking at the bar with the whole Honolulu thing. It's about to go down. They got red, white, and blue everywhere. And then the wife comes out, which I'd never seen her before. He was a bit older. When the wife come out, she's a bit younger. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. She probably was fine, maybe 15 years, prior, but she was okay right then. Her little old cheeks were kind of baggy and saggy, but she thought she was a bad. You did. She thought she was tougher than Tillers. She thought she was bad, man. And she walking around with her shades on and her fruity drink, and she got her little kind of see-through little old, it's almost like a little robe or something, and she got a two-piece on. She got a hell of a tan, her belly baggy, you know what I mean? And she okay for him. But I guess she wanted me to look at her like she was stunning when she walked out. But all I did was, hold on, I gotta come in here and let YouTube know. I love y'all too. I'm in the thing. They can't see me, but I gotta let them see me. Cause I'm back on the throne, baby. Ain't nothing changed. Everything's still the same. Yeah, man, it's your boy Heasley back in the building, man. So check it out, dog. I guess she wanted me to look at her like, ooh, like you lit, girl, woman, whatever you want to be. I got white girls make you look like a damn clown. I got white girls tall with flat stomachs and V waists, and I'm talking about ass about as big as flat as a pancake. Beautiful to the mother. Man, I'm talking about big bodacious black queen, thick everywhere. Boy, I got Mexican good. Boy, you and your husband be fucked up in the head if I come through here with all the, you know what I mean, that I got going on. And I got some fat bitches. I got some big old round, big belly, double chin, cottage cheese. Boy, I got a slew of everything. YouTube, can you hear me? Let me tell you about this little bitch. You know what I mean? So I wasn't super impressed, but I gave her respect. But every time I look around while I was handling my business, she over there looking at me. You did? She over there looking at me. Now, boss man come outside. He built like a Bermuda Triangle, belly hanging over his Speedo. But he rich than a, you know what I mean? I'm so bold. He rich than a, you know what I mean? But when he walk out, he sees her eyeballing me. And all of a sudden, he in a bad mood. I'm trying to take care of the yard, man. I'm not looking at your broad, man. I ain't even know that rhyme. I'm here to take care of your yard, man. I ain't looking at your broad. That's that blended ninja juice. So I'm trying to get the thing together, man. And in the backyard, it's just as screwed up as the front yard because they got a whole lot of plants and trees and palm. It's just a hassle. But I'm taking care of the business. He asked me, he said, you coming by the party tonight? Now, I ain't never partied with them folk. This man that cut me plenty check, but I ain't never partied with them folk. And I'm going to tell you why. I've been around that man in his pawn shop. I've been around that man at his apartment complexes. I've been around that man at the car wash. And that man is flat out racist. You know what I mean? He can't hide it from me. I see it. YouTube, hey, TikTok. Man, I'm going crazy. I need to get another phone so we can be on Instagram at the same time. Maybe I use this old cheap Walmart track phone. Nah, I ain't got no screen on it. It ain't smart. I need another smartphone. Yeah, or I can use my tablet. Whatever. Or I can use my computer. Don't matter. Say, this man really out of there. He can't even hide it. And so I could tell that he kind of vexed and he kind of mad because maybe he thought, you know what I mean, maybe I was trying to get at his old lady. And I can understand that. I was way younger. I was 100 and some pounds. I was fit like a tiger. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden he keeps an attitude with her and they kind of getting into it. She goes into the house. He tells me something. He starts to tell me about another one of his workers. And this Mexican guy he's talking about. And while he telling me about the guy, I guess he done got comfortable with me. Now he's insulting the guy. He's saying all kind of shit. They need to go back to this. I'm like, okay, damn it. I knew it, but now it's here. You know what I mean? And I'm making a good coin with this guy. But this guy is really ugly, man. Like, he got a bad attitude. He really think like he's the king of the world. He really think everybody that ain't white is beneath him. But he never treated me like that. Half-ass. But I always knew it was right beneath the surface. So he kept going about some of the Mexican workers. And then I told him, I said, man, be honest with you, I don't care to hear that. He said, what? I said, I don't care to hear that. They're like, what you mean? I say, man, you got this strong thing about yourself that I don't appreciate or agree with. He said, what are you talking about? I'm in his yard now. I got a bunch of responsibility from this guy. And I could feel that this is about the second time this is about to happen to me in life. Because this happened before. It happened when I was a little smaller, meaning business. I didn't have as much, didn't have as many contracts. It happened then, but I walked away from that also. So in this case, I'm putting it in my mind. He paid me what I asked for because I wasn't taking no for an answer. Everybody else, he's skimping them and pimping them off. And plus, he's ugly behind their back. They this or they that, you know what I mean? But what's keeping him from really saying, what do you really want to say about me? Only thing keeping him from saying it is my presence. But what do you think happened when I'm not around? The same thing he attempted to do with me about them, he's going to be in the presence of somebody else. And he's going to attempt to talk down on me with them. The difference is they might entertain it and accept it and ha-ha and he with them. But see, my stepdad was Nicaraguan. A lot of my friends were Mexican and Nicaraguan. I ate food with these people. They mothers made us soup and all type of stuff. They made tortilla bread for us, chilies, beans, you know what I mean? And we got drunk as a skunk. We used to drink every day. So to be honest with you, these are my people. You know what I mean? Hondurans. What's them other boys? Them boys dangerous too, you know what I'm saying? Them boys dangerous. I forgot where they from. But yeah, they dark skinned Spanish people. And they real. They good people. They want you to be okay. You had enough to eat? You had enough to drink? So when I was around them people, man, I ain't never heard them talk down on nobody. And I hung around them people for years, man. One of them, he used to be older gentleman. He had one leg longer than the other. He had that big shoe. You know what I mean? He had that big old shoe. And when he walked, he had that limp leg. You know what I mean? But he was cooler than a fan. He treated me like, I don't know what I would be. Because I was very young at the time. He sent me to the store to buy beer. I wasn't even old enough to buy beer, but he believed that I could. And he gave me a bunch of money and told me to go to the store and buy the beer. I'm about 14, 15 years old. But he ain't never thought nothing about it. He just go buy the beer. And I go to the store and go buy 4, 5, 6, 40 ounces of bull. Come back and he laying on a hammock. He used to have a hammock. You know what I mean? He be laying on that hammock, swinging, drinking that bull. He put that bull in the side of his mouth. And he swinging and knocking that out. He killing, he knocking it down. You know what I mean? Emptying that bottle and getting the next one. Now, one thing I didn't like about him was he drank hot beer. You did? He was foolish enough to drink hot beer. I ain't like that. I like my beer fresh out the ice or fresh out the deep freezer or fresh out the cooler. So to be all out honest with you, man, I was raised around multicultural, Vietnamese, blacks, whites, Mexicans, Honduras, you know what I mean? Just anything you can name. Panamanian, just anything you can name. And these people spent nights at my house. I stayed at their house. These people treated my mother with respect, my sister with respect. Can you dig it? Now, I've been around some people that really know me, that treated my mother and my sister, you know what I mean? Really disrespectful. But these people always treated my mother and sister with respect. So, I'm not going to sit here and consume you talking down on these people because they don't speak your English. They speak their language and broken your language. Won't you speak their language if it's so easy? You see, we're not considerate and we don't have an understanding when it comes to others. We always just think they should move like this. Don't you know that we are limited because we only speak one broken down ass language that ain't even ours? But these people speak their language and a few more. But you got so much to say about them. Oh, they can't drive. Won't you go to their country and drive and see if you can drive? Won't you go to their country and try to communicate and see if people understand you? You see what I'm saying? Won't you go to their country and work with them in their fields and see if they call you lazy? Come on, man. I think you have failed in every one of those positions. So like Farrakhan say, I think you should shut up. I think you should sit down and shut up. You don't even deserve the right to speak. But let's get to it. He said, what are you implying? I said, sir, you're coming across as very prejudiced. He denied it multiple times. Because we were in public places. We was at his pawn shop. We was over here or over there. He also had a convenience store. Now, also at that convenience store, you know how they had them corn machines people be playing in like back rooms or whatever? He had some of that way back in the day. This boy was on that paper, man. This boy was on that paper chase. So he's standing over there by his bar, the little Honolulu thing, Tahiti trees, and he's mixing drinks, just, preliminary before the party goers get there. And he's standing there, and he's very comfortable because he's at his house. And so he tells me, nah, I don't like such and such. I don't like such and such. I say, well, why do you deal with me? He told me straight up, he don't like most blacks. He told me just straight up, I don't like most blacks. He told me straight business, I don't like Mexicans. I said, well, why do you deal with me? He said, you different. I said, nah, I'm not different. I'm just like them. So you don't like them. In reality, you really don't like me. He said, you know what you about to do? I said, it's already done. It's already done, man. He said, you're going to lose all this money because you can't stand the truth that I don't like some blacks and I don't like some Mexicans. I said, I'm not going to lose the money because of that. I'm going to lose the money because I'm not going to work with or for somebody that I know that's blatantly prejudiced. You don't like me, dog. I'm just your little young show-off dog. Hey, look, my little boy. I got my little boy over here doing this and doing that. And my little boy also have his own businesses. Look at him. You say you watch your tone in my yard. You're not about to trick me into no pine box. Because mine is inside my truck. We in your yard at your house. I know yours is probably all around this place. So I told him straight business. I'm not being disrespectful. It's just I'm going to drag up my equipment. Whatever you owe me, let's settle that up when it's time. But don't expect me to show up to no more of your establishment, sir. Will you go right ahead? You bought a stupid mother. And he went in. You bought a stupid mother, babe. Stupid. And he said it. He said it. Stupid with the big end. He put the big end on it. He put the ATL on it. He put the big end on it. You bought a stupid. I said, you know what? You just a fat, arrogant And this is a grown man. Nigga, I'm like 24, 25. This is a grown man. This dude is like 50 or 60. He told me I was a stupid N-word. I told him he was a fat, arrogant white boy. You did? I called this grown ass man a boy. I said, that's all you are. His wife in the doorway watching. But I zipped my lip because that could have escalated. And if he would have laid me down in that yard, he probably would have got away with it. But we ended that situation. And the craziest thing about that story, I met these two very wealthy men from two different worlds, two different races, one black, one white. They had something in common, and I learned from them. Both of these gentlemen were very rich, owned a lot of stuff. But each one of these guys was just as equally greedy. Man, I've never seen human beings just so greedy, just got to get over on the next man. And they already got it all. I'm not like, it's an understatement me stressing what they had and what they owned. Like these guys were, their names in my city is like huge, humongous. You say their name to anybody from any different age category, they know exactly who they are. You see what I'm saying? So I learned that these guys are really, really greedy. Why? You already got it all. Why? So I learned, I said, you know what? I'm going to be a good businessman. And one day I'm going to be very well off, very wealthy. But I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be greedy. They were very selfish. I said, I'm going to be in that position, but I'm not going to be selfish. Now, the last thing they had in common, they both was assholes. Just straight up people that you would rather not even be around. Like I don't know. They felt they can buy anything and anybody. You know what I mean? They felt any person, any female, they felt like everybody had a price tag. Listen, they felt like everybody had one of these. YouTube, you see this? They felt like everybody had a hang tag. And that's how they approached every situation. Like, you can be bought. You can be bought. And I said to myself, I know it's very enjoyable to have abundance in such a great way. But why are these men so miserable? Why are these men so obnoxious? Why is this $1 million white boy in a $1 million plus neighborhood worrying about his wife looking at $1,000 nigga? So what I learned from these wealthy men were to be nothing like them. Two shady, rich ass mofos taught me to be nothing, no way near like them. Yeah, man. Say, man, that's what that was about, man. But let me go and put these glasses on, man, and see if I got anybody saying, get your ass out of here. I'm going to treat you crazy, too. Nah, man, I just wanted to chop that up with y'all, man. Just, just life experiences, man. You're going to go through things, man. But just don't sell yourself out cheap, man. You know what I mean? Don't just eat cheese because, you know what I'm saying, somebody holding something over your head. Somebody giving you a couple of carrots, man. Don't let people treat you like just any kind of which way just because they giving you a few heads of lettuce and a couple of carrots. You know what I mean? And we all will do certain things for a certain dollar amount, but we all cannot be bought. You're not going to pay me to be around you when I know you hateful and you ugly. I'm not a good yes man. I'm not a good just shut up and go along to get along. I'm not a good one of those. When I go into an establishment and somebody like, "Ooh, the boss coming," you know what I mean? Like when I go somewhere and people, "Ooh, the boss," you know what I mean? When they, you know what I'm saying? When I loosen up. I was some of, a few places yesterday, and I seen how people conducted themselves. Like I went to this one location and they made a mistake saying I wasn't supposed to be there. And they cost their company some money because when we go in detention, they got to pay us after an hour. So I sat there for about 4 hours. So the company didn't appreciate that. But the boss man got on the phone, right? The boss man got on the phone. He just on the phone. He's not even there in his presence. Like he's not even there around him. He's just on the phone. And he like, take the phone to this person and put me on speakerphone and tell him I'm on the phone. He's very assertive. He's very assertive, and I respect that. So I bought the phone to the first person. They pretty much on a lower level. They were eating fried chicken and gizzards. Guess they was on lunch break. They was eating chicken and gizzards. Now, I can't even make no big fun about the woman eating chicken and gizzards because I ain't even gonna bull crap you. I wanted some chicken and gizzards out there. You know what I mean? I wanted me some chicken and gizzards, because I've been refraining from eating, crap. You know what I mean? I've been juicing and blending and eating almost like a vegan diet. But lately I've been kind of, just going back to some of the ugly ways that I eat, you know what I mean? And I saw her and she was enjoying her chicken and gizzards and biscuit. Like she had biscuit crumbs all over her face and shit. She had a chicken tender in one hand and she trying to grab a tender with her pinky. She trying to multitask. And I hated to interrupt her lunch. But I said, such and such is on the phone. He'd like to speak to you. And she bit down on that damn gizzard. And when he said, "Hey, this is such and such," man, she damn near choked. Yeah, Mr. Travis. What'd you say now, Mr. Travis? What's going on over there? This gentleman is, hey, let's get this together. This gentleman is, you know what I mean? Yes, sir, Mr. Travis, I'm on it right now. I said, damn it, boy. Mr. Travis must be powerful than you know what I mean? And so she put me on the golf cart and went to driving me around like I was the president. I went to waving at other people like this here, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he say, when you get inside the warehouse, put me on speakerphone again and tell him Mr. Travis on the phone. Now, this is the same warehouse I just walked out of, and they told me I'm in the wrong place. Get your funky ass on. You know what I mean? You don't supposed to be here. You at the wrong place. Now I'm back. And I got Mr. Travis on the phone, on speakerphone. He said a couple of names. He told me to utter a couple of names. I uttered those names. They say, that's our supervisor. Like they went from being chill and relaxed to when I said that first name, they cock-a-doodle-doo. You know what I mean? That's our supervisor. I said, yeah, well, Mr. Travis on the phone. When I said Mr. Travis on the phone, they went to tucking their shirts in and button their shirts up and got their clipboards out and they, yes, sir, Mr. Travis. Hey, what are you guys doing? Nothing, Mr. Travis. We getting it together over your boss. Why y'all got this guy waiting when he's supposed to bid him in the dockets? And all of a sudden, the supervisor came. Now they in that bitch acting like they having church. I'm so glad to be of service. One more time. You know what I mean? I say, look at this shit. But they asked me to do something. Mr. Travis, hey, James, Mr. Travis wanted me to do something. He wanted me to snitch. He wanted me to snitch on the person that made the mistake. So he said, do you remember He trying to big voice me now. He trying to big voice. Look, Giant, he trying to big voice me, trying to put that fear in me. Do you remember which one of those individuals told you X, Y, and Z? Nigga, you ain't the police. And if you was, I still wasn't gonna tell you. I said, no, all you niggas look alike. You know what I mean? Nah, I say, nah, man, I didn't talk to 4, 5, 6, 10 people. I don't know who told me what. But I'm looking dead at the person who told me what they told me. You did? I'm looking right at the person who told me what they told me. And I told them, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. But immediately after that, they got me where I needed to be. But all I'm saying while I'm saying all that is, I'm not that person. I don't go nowhere walking on eggshells because of somebody's status. I don't care who you are. You a man just like me. I'm going to give you the same respect that I'm going to give the janitor. I'm going to give the janitor the same respect that I'm going to give the boss. Because at the end of the day, that's a man. He deserved to be treated well also. Because I'm going to show you something. If a catastrophic event took place, like a flood, you did, or a hurricane, or a tornado, we all be in the same boat then. Your money wouldn't even matter. How about your survival skills? That's when titles, amounts of money, roles, who we look at as, oh, that's such and such, bum, 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 bum. That's the boss. Boy, when that water go to rising above here, all that boss man out the window. It's us coming together. Race don't even matter no more. You ever had a catastrophic event happen in your city or a little town? You see everybody with buckets. You see everybody handing each other buckets trying to get that water gone. You see everybody passing out blankets. But why does it take human beings to have a catastrophic event for them to act like human beings? I don't know, man. Say, hey, man, that's my time, man. I'm gonna come cool with y'all because I'm cool with y'all. Maybe one day I'll figure out what to do with y'all. TikTok, I'm signing out. Facebook, YouTube, I'm gone. You know what I'm talking about?